Tonight on Joy News Prime, Finance Minister Ofori Atta assures government is putting measures in place to advance macroeconomic stability as the country secures an IMF bailout in record time. We have details as a hint of structural reforms, including an increase in the budget for the school feeding program and the doubling of bi-monthly stipends to households under the LEAP program. Also tonight, former President John Dramani Mahama urges voters in the Asin North constituency to massively vote for the NDC to make a huge statement about what he describes as bad government and economic crisis the current MPP government has plunged Ghana into. Also tonight, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagwin has described as disappointing the low representation of women and people with disability in the 8th Parliament. And as we celebrate Father's Day, founder and leader of Perez Chapel International, Bishop Ajin Asare, is tonight entreating fathers to plan their lives ahead to avoid being liabilities at old age. I am Faustina Safo. Do stay with us for details of all the stories and more. Thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Now, Finance Minister Ofori Atta has lauded the efforts of the Finance Ministry in securing an IMF bailout in record time. Briefing the media on Ghana's IMF Programme, the government's ambitious growth agenda, Ofori Atta said the economic outlook is starting to brighten up as inflation has decelerated, assuring that government is putting in place measures to advance macroeconomic stability. The Finance Minister also said government is working to secure a $2 billion support from multilateral partners.
Pension as an example of our economic renaissance and considerable goodwill from our African brothers and sisters. There have been significant developments since I went to Parliament in November 2022, engaged in December 2022, and then the approval of the IMF facility May 17th. Subsequent to these and the conclusion of the IMF mission last week, I will today share with you an update on the economy. More importantly, I also discuss the details of the program of work to return our economy to the path of strong sustainability and growth and provide more opportunities for our people. Ladies and gentlemen, Wednesday, 17th May 2023 is indeed a day to be memorialized. On that day, Ghana secured approval for a $3 billion three-year standard credit facility from the board of the International Monetary Fund to support the implementation of Ghana's post-COVID-19 Program for Economic Growth, PCPEG. As was the case in many other emerging market economies devastated by rising debt, worsening financing conditions, high inflation, deteriorating exchange rate and balance of payment pressures, Ghana sought IMF assistance to support our PCPEG. The implementation of the PCPEG aims to restore macroeconomic stability and debt sustainability and to support inclusive growth while protecting the vulnerable. It is also aimed at building resilience and promote efficiency and competitiveness through wide-ranging and strong structural reforms in key sectors of the economy. We also sought to leverage the catalytic effect an IMF program would offer in terms of accessing additional financing and building confidence.
Let's do some politics now. Former President John Dramani Mahama is tonight urging voters in the Asin North constituency to vote massively for the NDC to make a huge statement about what he describes as bad governance and economic crisis the current MPP government has plunged Ghana into. Speaking during his tour of the Asin North constituency ahead of the crucial by-election next week, John Mahama expressed his dissatisfaction with the ruling by the Accra High Court to hear James Jachikwesin's perjury and forgery case on a day-to-day basis.
You say, Nyamin Shishe, Ayan Shishepa.
Ghanaians want me to tell you God's plan is the best. God has planned it that you, the constituents of Asim North, will amplify the hardship Ghanaians are experiencing. You are the ones to speak on their behalf through your votes in this by-election.
A driver for what Ghana hanging na I say no for
all the drivers in this country are saying you voters in Asin North will speak on their behalf so the government will know we are in difficult times. All the Okada riders in Ghana say you are the ones to speak for them. Our unemployed children are saying same.
Samon kana binance say enyoman ko yie ye mambudo a omo wie school a omo tifie enfie mienu enfie miensa enfie num a omo nye adwuma nia me ka ne say NDC for yen tijai
NDC people are never discouraged. Whether they like it or not, James Chachikwesin is our choice.
While still on politics, the former Northern Regional Chairman of the NPP, Bugri Nabu, says members of the NPP will be reinforcing the perception that they hate Northerners if they do not vote for Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. He's been speaking in an exclusive interview with my colleague Samuel Mbura.
I know two has filed. And the contestants, they are 10, as you exactly said. Let me say that all the 10, they are all good and qualified. All the 10 who pick from some who are filed, some who are not filed, they are all well qualified. But the truth is that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should be, and I'm going to use this medium to appeal to all delegates, constituency executives, regional executives, national executive. They shouldn't make mistake not consider this rate to Bawumia.
So can you tell us exactly why you think Bawumia is the best bet for the party?
Yes. I'm going to tell you. The simple thing is that MPP originated from northern region, joined with Asantis and now Ghanaians. But during Buzia regime, Buzia worked with Dombo and Co. Northern and Akan. Victor Gusu came and took advice from Nyankpala Tamale, that is His Excellency Yakubu Tali, Town Chief, as its running mate. Buzia, Dombo, Victor Wusu, Yakubu Tali.
Let's head to Parliament now, where the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, has described as disappointing the low representation of women and people with disability in the 8th Parliament Out of 275 members, only 40 are women. Addressing a public lecture on 30 years of parliamentary democracy, the Speaker, Alban Babing, says the number is not encouraging.
Parliament has grown from a membership of 200 in 1993 to the current 275 single-member constituencies. In general terms, popular representation has improved marginally. However, women representation as a percentage of the membership of the House has been sluggish, inconsistent, and discouraging. From a low of 8% in the first Parliament of the Fourth Republic to a disappointing 14.5% in the Eighth Parliament. Ghana remains among the lowest, even in Africa, in that respect. A number of our colleagues have passed the 30% that we all signed to by 2020. We are lagging behind. And so with 40 women MPs in the House of 275, it's a far cry in the new emerging democracies in the world. The representation of people with disabilities is even worse. The highest of 5.5% being in the 6th Parliament is what this country has achieved so far.
While still in Parliament, the NDC minority is insisting on the setting up of a public inquiry to investigate the exposure of some public and private officials in illegal mining. The Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng's report to the Chief of Staff named some individuals he claims benefited from the illicit act. The report and the work of the Interministerial Committee are being investigated by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, but ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, says a public inquiry is most appropriate for now.
But we are not against the fact that the state, the investigations are going on. That's not our concern. I mean, we are not against it. We want more investigations to go on. We want more arrests to happen. We want further input into it by subjecting it to public investigation. That's what we are looking for. And so don't appear as if by that press conference we are against the arrest or the significant legal body that is doing what they are doing. We are happy that they are doing all that, but we are calling for further action, and that's very key to us. We will do more. We want to assure Ghanaians that nothing should be hidden from the ears and eyes of Ghanaians.
Until that time is up, you can't be demanding that they should make things public. And they say that we don't make these things public because we don't want to embarrass and prejudice things against the people who appear before us.
I don't think that anybody put the Office of the Special Prosecutor on the table in the press conference we did. We only asked for the further arrests of other people who are key government officials, who are state appointees. In fact, we didn't even mention the special prosecutor in our press conference. We just talk about further arrests to be made. Because if you have 100 people committing a certain crime, and there's one criminal amongst them who is supposed to supervise for the crime not to be committed, our key interest must be on the one who is supervising. And we all know that 3 people who are mentioned, who have been mentioned either because of what Armiyawe has brought out Mr. Bisu, or what the report has mentioned and mentioned the names, 3 names of Mr. Gabi, Honorable Kwam, and then Lord Komi. We want all of them to be brought to the table, to be questioned before the public. So
A chairman of the Mines and Energy Committee, Ofori Atta, wants the Office of the Special Prosecutor to be allowed to do its job.
Parliament cannot micromanage a special prosecutor. You cannot sit in the comfort of Parliament and begin to use press conference to stampede the special prosecutor as to how he should conduct his business. That would be very, very unfortunate, and that would be, excuse me to say, an outrageous extension of the powers of Parliament. And the facts are showing a special prosecutor is working quietly, proud to the leakage of the Freeport Boateng report. And the style of the special prosecutor and how he will do his work, half the time submarine work that he's doing, is not subject to a day-to-day parliamentary scrutiny. If not, then the special prosecutor will not be able to do his job at all. And I'm afraid if you said somebody, the special prosecutor should arrest A, B, C, or D of an individual, then it's an unfortunate dictatorship, which Parliament should never dare to do. Because state institutions, we know how to bring them before Parliament when they fall foul of the law and their duties. So I say that it is sad that the minority is trying to push the special prosecutor into doing things to appease them. When you mention Gabriel Shedakon and the rest of them, it's all because of the political undertones. For instance, I've just heard him say that the government officials who are involved, because immediately you go that route, then the government should become very unpopular. Now you say you are fighting Galamsey, but meanwhile, your officials are neck deep in it.
Let's take you now to the Techiman North District, where the Director of Health Services, Jacob Munukwa, has bemoaned the low number of healthcare facilities in the area, with the district's 106,000 population currently without a doctor. He made this revelation during a brief ceremony to mark the 5 years anniversary of Zuno Hospital, the only private hospital in the district. Correspondent Anna Sabit has more in this report.
The Techiman North District, with an estimated population of 106,000, currently has 15 health facilities, 12 Ghana Health Service and 3 private facilities. Even though these facilities scattered across the district are doing well in terms of providing healthcare delivery to the over 64 communities in the area, the number is woefully inadequate considering the population of the district. Jacob Munukwa is the District Director of Health Services.
We need more with our population and the facilities that we have. We don't want people traveling maybe more than 5-6 kilometers to render service. So the facilities that we have, we will say they are not enough when you look at our population.
Last time I checked, the entire district don't have a doctor. What is the doctor population ratio?
Doctor population ratio is 0 to 1,000, 106,000. Our population is 106,000, and we don't have doctors, so it's 0 to 1,000, 106,000. That's our population.
Today, the only hospital serving the entire district, Zunio Hospital, a private healthcare provider, is 5 years old. Chief Executive Officer of the facility, Dr. Zingvla Emmanuel, says the facility's motive is to provide quality healthcare to the people of the area, particularly the less privileged.
Zuno became a health facility 5 years ago. We started as a clinic. About 2 years ago, we got the accreditation as a hospital. That is so fast if you know how the system works, that we have been able to upgrade from a clinic to a hospital within 3 years. And that tells you that our services have been appreciated. We have been able to upgrade the facility, not just in equipment and human resource, but also in quality healthcare delivery. From a client base of about 15, 20 a few years back, now we are having an average of 100 clientele per day. And that tells you that we have really come far. We have really succeeded in our vision.
We're taking a quick breather here on Joy News Prime. We'll be back with more stories, to stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, founder and leader of Perez Chapel International, Bishop Ajay Nasari, is tonight admonishing children not to use religion as an excuse to be irresponsible towards their fathers. He's also urging fathers to ensure that they treat their children with respect and work hard to ensure there are no liabilities at old age. He spoke today.
We remember the positive things they have done. And it is very important to often tell your dad what they mean to you before it's too late and they are gone. Most of us don't want to show our emotions. Some of us, it's difficult to say I love you. It's difficult to say thank you. But it is very important on a day like this, if your father is still alive, tell him what he means to you before he catches the train going to the other side. To honor your parents also means to show respect by financially supporting them, especially in their old age. In other words, we honor our parents by caring for them. Parents. So Jesus was saying that the religious people had made the people think that it is okay to neglect your parents as long as you were tithing or you were giving to God. It is wrong to tithe and not take care of your parents. Amen. And I can tell you by experience that I took very good care of my father. Amen. So Jesus was saying people violated God's command of honoring their parents by not caring for their parents in their old age. And they tried to make it sound spiritual. I can't help you because I've pledged money to God. That is using spirituality as a cover. Amen? Using spirituality as a cover. I'm not saying that if you are a father, don't plan your life. Plan your life in such a way that in your old age, if your children don't even bring you anything, you survive. And you survive well. Give me a believing amen. If you are a man in this church, my expectation is that you will plan your life in such a way that when your children remember and bring to you, it is a bonus. If they don't come, you are still doing fine. You are taking care of their mother very well.
Well, that's how we wrap up the bulletin. To all our fathers and potential fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Have a pleasant evening. My name is Faustina Safo. Do log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. Up next is The Probe.